Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to be talking about CONCORD. Now before we get into the video guys, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the content if you guys are interested. We do post videos weekly as well as stream every Saturday at 8 a.m. And also brand new this week, we are going to be starting a second stream starting Wednesday at 7 p.m. So if you guys are interested, be sure to subscribe so that you can be up to date for those. Also, I do want to put like a little disclaimer here. These are just my thoughts based on the beta. I did play this weekend as well as last weekend, both of the betas, the open and closed betas. So a lot of this stuff is, subject to change, and this is just kind of my thoughts after playing quite a few hours both weekends. So just wanted to put that out there, as when the game does officially launch, I believe in August, there are some things that I'm sure are bound to change and might be different from when you're seeing this video. So with that, let's talk about CONCORD. CONCORD is a brand new upcoming multiplayer game from PlayStation by Firewalk Studios. It's a hero shooter, very similar to Overwatch, and as I said, I did play this weekend as well as last weekend during the closed beta that was available to all of the PlayStation Plus members. So I want to start off with some of the positive things that I took away from both of these betas, as well as some of the things that I didn't quite like. First off, I think the game looks really good. I think it looks incredibly polished. I was actually surprised at how well the game ran. For just being a beta, I personally didn't run into any game-breaking glitches or bugs or anything like that. It ran really smooth. And just like many other PlayStation titles, it just has that extra polish that is kind of expected now from anything PlayStation. I also really liked that they had a good variety of characters to play as. I tried to play as many as I could. I haven't played all of them per se, but I have played most of the characters, trying out their different weapons and their abilities. So I did enjoy that there's quite a variety to the characters. I also really liked the style that they were going for. It's very Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm all for it. I love that style. I think it's really cool. And with all that said, this game, it does seem like it's got a lot of potential for it. Now, some of the things that, for me personally, are just kind of just red flags and are what ultimately is putting me off on CONCORD. First off, there is no story mode or campaign mode, like a traditional, like you go through the campaign and you're going all these levels. I saw that they're going to be doing some sort of like cinematic story clips to progress the story, as well as like the characters and everything like that. But if I'm being completely honest, that sounds super lame, super dumb. I do not like that idea at all. I want to say that Overwatch had promised something similar when Overwatch 2 came out, and eventually they just scrapped it. And from what it appears, it looks like the game is just going to be strictly PvP, like the 5v5 arena battles. And even during the beta, there's like a few different modes that you can play, but they were all the same 5v5 modes, where you're doing different types of things, but it's still these arena shooters where you're just doing the same thing. Now, I could be wrong all of this. Like I said, this is the beta and not the full game, so a lot of things could change by the time it comes out. But there's also just not going to be a PvE mode, which for me personally, I think that's a huge missed opportunity. You have like a Guardians of the Galaxy style game where you could have just teamed up to take out crazy monsters, space monsters and whatnot, but instead you're just going to be fighting 5 other characters that are the same characters as you in these arena matches. So it just seems like that was a huge missed opportunity. They could have really done something cool. Personally, like I said, the big thing for me is there's no story mode, which is super lame, and they're doing these weird weekly cinematic trailer type deals. I don't know. It just sounds super lame if I'm being completely honest. And no PvE mode. And for me personally, I really love PvE way more than PvP, player versus player. I'll be honest, I'm a fairly casual player, and I'd much rather be playing together with friends and doing objectives than getting smoked by a bunch of sweaty basement dwellers after a long workday. I did see that there are some people credited with the PvE mode in the credits, but if I had to guess, it's going to be more like some sort of training simulator for people to try out the different characters before you jump into an official match. I would be honestly really surprised if it's anything but that. There's not a whole lot of people that are credited for that specific mode, if you even want to call it that. So yeah, big missed opportunity in my opinion. And I don't know, I just feel like once I heard that this doesn't have a campaign mode, or that it is strictly 5v5 arena matches, I kind of just lost all interest on it. I feel like a lot of people, myself included, are just kind of burnt out of all of these hero shooters. And that kind of brings me to some of the other stuff. The rewards, at least as far as the beta, there's not really anything that you're working towards. You have like these like mercenary cards or business card things, whatever they called it, and you get on some cosmetic for the characters, but as far as I understood, that's really it. Like I said, I could be wrong. This was just the beta, and they could change things in the future, but it just didn't seem like there was really much to work towards. So you're just kind of just doing random arena matches. I don't know. It's just really hard because you have a game like The First Descendant that had just recently come out, and it's a free game, free to play. And there's so much more content in here that you don't have to pay for. Like, they have a story mode, they have bosses, they have mini bosses, dungeons. Granted, like, yeah, that game's got its own issues for sure. But as far as like a package deal, you're getting way more for The First Descendant. And that's what makes it a really hard sell for me, is that Concord, you still have to pay $40. It would be different if this was a free-to-play, just like First Descendant and some of these other ones. But even comparing it to Helldivers 2 that came out earlier this year, Helldivers 2 just seems like it had more to offer up front, a better package deal than what Concord has to offer. Granted, like I said, the game looks incredible, and if I'm being honest, I had a good time playing it. I thought it was fun. Obviously there are some characters that are harder to play as than others, for sure. Some of the weapons felt a little stiff, if I'm being honest, but overall I thought the gameplay was fun. It's just, there's just not much more than just the arena matches, which is really a bummer. I kind of feel like this is a good game, and it looks good, and it plays good, but it's just coming out way too late. If this game would have came out a few years ago when all these hero shooters were popping, I have no doubt that this would have been a huge hit. The gaming industry, how it is right now, and the way the world is with just everything costing so much, and it makes it really hard to even want to spend something as little as $40 on something that's such a small offer, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I think Concord is going to be a wait and see kind of game. I'm not going to completely write it off just yet. Just with the two betas that I've played, there's more red flags than there are things that are going good for it, in my opinion. Nothing that's made me be like, oh yes, I'm going to drop the $40. So I think I'll wait. Who knows? The game could be really good and blow us away and offer many more modes. They could add a story mode, and they could add PvE mode. And if that's the case, I would definitely be interested in taking a closer look. But as it stands now, I think it's going to be a wait. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you guys think. As far as me, I'm not entirely convinced. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Concord, and if you played the beta. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.